It begins in Asia, while two powers on their borders, while the Japanese Empire in the east and the Russians on the west. Both nations have one goal. While the Russian goal was to expand as much as they can, they captured the Korean peninsula which Japan had eyes on. I welcome you to the story of the war for Korea. And the war begins here. The first move was taken by the Japanese as the Japanese army mobilized men, at least a million, 1.5 million men were mobilized by the Japanese army, while the Russians were not even knowing the Japanese were getting ready for war. They were morally focused on the European side of things as things were collapsing there from their side, terrorists and more. The Japanese Navy attacked the eastern coasts of the South Korean areas, which led to the Russian Empire finally getting ready their men and sending out North Koreans to fight for them till that time. After the bombing of the eastern coast in the South Korean peninsula, Japanese soldiers landed on that area. So the Russians sent out men to fight them in that area. The battle was won by the Japanese as the numbers were superior because the Russians, still not having mobilized their men to fight the war, Russian mobilization took a whole nother turn. Many Koreans and Chinese were set to take weapons and arms and fight the war for Korea. The battle begins at the coast, a D-Day invasion by the Japanese Empire. So the Russians keep fighting and send out their men to fight that war. After almost 10,000 men went to the D-Day of South Korea, and the Russian army not mobilized yet, the Japanese took this opportunity to send more men to South Korea. After that, tanks, weapons, you can guess. And after that, they took over South Korea, but the Russians didn't back down. Russians sent over 500,000 Chinese and Russian men to fight with the North Koreans. It was the battle for the peninsula. After the Russians sent the soldiers, they immediately assaulted a small city of Yongzhongbu. The first battle has begun on the border. Before the Battle of Yashinobu, Russia sent out two large armies consisting of 250,000 each, while the Japanese sent out few smaller armies consisting of at least 50,000 each, while the main army stationed in Seoul. Then the Battle of Yashinobu or Munan actually started. The army stationed in Kaesong, North Korea, about 75,000 troops from the 250,000 main battalion, moved on and marched towards Munan, while they had to fight about 50,000 Japanese men. After the Japanese seeing that the war in Musan was hard to win, Japan carried out another offensive towards Pyongyang. The reason why the Japanese carried out this offensive was to take pressure off the Musan front and beat the enemy and surround Kaesong and take it.